going to go ahead and call the July 10th, 2023 Cambridge City Town Council meeting to order. We're going to start with prayer.
Hi, Steve.
Father in heaven, we're thankful once again for your great love towards each one of us. Thankful ultimately for your Son, Jesus Christ, who gave his life for us so that we can know the forgiveness of sins and have a relationship with you. And we just pray, dear God, that you would lead and guide each of our lives. We look to you for help, for wisdom, and sometimes we don't know the answers to things, but you say if we lack wisdom, we can ask of you, and you give liberally if we ask. And I just pray you'd continue to guide each one here and in this meeting. And Lord, we pray over our town and our communities. Pray over our country, dear Lord. We want to seek you and put you first in all that we do. We love you in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
We'll go ahead and do the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take care. Clerk, can you call the roll?
Sure. Steve Sora.
Here.
Mike Amick.
Here.
Debbie McGinley. Here. Jeff Martis.
Here.
And Jim's going to be absent.
Everybody gets to see the minutes from the last meeting.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
What about the claims?
Make a motion to accept the claims.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the financials?
I'll make a motion, we accept the financials.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And it looks like there's no public hearing. Peggy Meyer.
Hi, I'm Peggy Meyer with the Goley Community Center. I'm the program director there, and I'm seeking the board's permission for our Monster Mash, 9th annual Monster Mash 5K in October the 14th. We had approximately 50 people, 50 participants last year, so that's why I'm here tonight. All of you have a copy of the flyer that we're going to hand out, and also the map. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Concerning. Same course you've run before, Peggy?
Yes, sir.
I make a motion, we allow the Goley to have their Monster Mash again this year, October 14th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, this thing on that one.
Oh, yeah.
So you think I can make it on that run?
I believe so.
You think I could?
Absolutely. You got a couple months to train.
Think so? I get tired watching.
Yeah.
We got a cardio room. We can hook you up.
Last year I used the UTV to walk to.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. I get tired on that too, probably. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks. See ya. You too.
Is Arnold Boyd
No,
gonna be
he's not. He was, but he's not here. So,
You know what
I
that
guess I'll put
means?
him on the August
You
meeting.
know what that means?
I started
Adam.
again last week.
Adam from West.
My ankles are good enough again, now I can run again.
You guys, you wanted
Yes.
Wes right here.
Right, so what we called you here for, I guess, is to explain the next phase, the water tower, the industrial park, and maybe talk about financing on it, and how we're gonna do that,
Yep.
so.
So I want to give an update on where we're at with the current phases
Sure,
first,
great.
just before we think about what's next and
Yep.
see where we are with what we already started. We're under contract for 2 phases of the project, both with Cooley Construction, phase 1A and 1B. 1A is the water mains in town. That's basically done, 99.99%, I would say. We're dealing with some warranty items and some minor punch list things. Big picture on 1A, I think that's going to end up coming in under budget, but we don't have enough information to say how much yet. Within this next month, we'll be issuing one more change order to adjust quantities, and that will balance out the contract. So I think we'll end up below where we thought we'd start, but a little bit too soon to say on that. On Wessler's end with budget, we had around $200,000 in our CA contract, and we have about $80,000 left, so we're doing very good on that. 1B, that is the other project that we're under contract for, and that is a little bit of everything. That is the new well at the industrial park, rehabbing the water treatment plant at the industrial park, rehabbing the wells in town, and doing a new SCADA system in town. Now, we've had that contract executed since January. However, the contractor's getting kind of a slow start on that. They've drilled the well, and they've installed the driveway, and that's about it.
We need a new SCADA in town too.
Pardon?
We need a new SCADA in town too also with that, you said?
Yes, that's part of
Okay.
1B, is the
Okay.
in-town SCADA.
I need the part, I guess I didn't realize we did in town.
We did. We added all that work in town into 1B at the very end of that project because of the grant dollars that were being handed out. Yep, so 1B is getting a slow start. Contractor just provided us an updated schedule, which says they'll be done by November of this year. But it's missing one big part, which is SCADA. And right now, the one trade that has long lead times is SCADA. So I suspect once they update their schedule to include all their subcontractors, we're probably gonna need some sort of time extension. Now, if they approach us for a time extension, that's something that we're gonna bring up to council again. On this project, it was awarded in January, and it's July right now. So there's been a little bit of time that has passed from when they got it until now. So that would be another conversation for later, but there's reasons as to why we feel they wouldn't be entitled to a time extension. Primarily a 6-month wait when you first get started. That's for down the road, once they get into it and can provide us a more complete schedule.
So you're saying no work was done at all between January and July?
No, they've done work. They've drilled a well and installed a driveway, but there's a lot of different pieces to this project, and they haven't started many of those pieces. So, what's the best way? It's not a start to finish on this project. There's like 30 or 40 different starts and small paths to finish it, because it's just such a ticky-tacky type of work, and they just haven't picked up a lot of those pieces. Now, in my world, the first piece of work is a submittal. Contractor gives us a piece of paper that says, here's what we're gonna install. Do you agree with that, engineer? We're still getting those coming in. And typically those come through a lot shorter after a project is awarded. So that's something we're keeping an eye on. They haven't said they need an extension yet, but once they get that piece of information about the SCADA equipment, I think that story might change. That's everything on 1B. Any questions on 1A or 1B at this point?
Ken, do you have any comments on him?
No, he's covered it pretty good.
So our next steps. The next steps in the town or the industrial park. On our program, the next one is the industrial park. And that is the elevated storage tank and the water main loop in the park. We really haven't done much work with that besides what's in the PER, scoping it out and getting an idea for level of magnitude. And haven't spent much time looking at co-funding, talking it through with Ken. We wanted to get through this first phase and then pick up the next one. But if council's ready to proceed and start looking at funding mechanisms and getting the design progressed, certainly something that we can talk about. There's been no behind-the-scenes magic, I guess,
Right.
is what I'm alluding to.
Okay. Well, that's the next step, so
It is.
anybody have any comments on that?
I think we need to move forward. That's just my motion, actually, move forward.
Is that the next one that council wants to do, or any of the others? When we first put together this, was this the priority of timing, you think?
I believe it was. I believe that's the way the phases came out, was it not, Adam?
Right.
It is. That's what I'm looking at now, just to see when we slate
Yeah, that's the next thing on the list.
It is the next thing on our list. Having trouble finding the exact time when we said we'd do it, but that's the next thing as we check our boxes off. So what does that look like? Zoom in a little bit more on that. I believe it was 400,000 or 500,000 gallon tank, and it was quite a bit of water main, and the costs attached to that are around $8 million. So that's going to be a big bite to take.
I thought it was a 1 million gallon tank.
Let me look so I don't misspeak.
What's there is a 450.
Yeah, I thought it was,
I thought the one we had was that, and then the next one was a 1 million.
yeah, this was gonna be a lot
It's
bigger.
a 1 million gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for catching me there.
So is this next phase all of the industrial park?
It is, yes. Originally, phase 2 did have some town well cleaning work, but we accelerated that because of the grants on 1B. Yep, so this is all exclusively industrial park. Would be our phase 2.
And the estimate was 8 million?
Yes, 8.3 and some change.
And that's even taking out those things that we accelerated?
Yes. Yes, there wasn't anything part of this particular bucket that was accelerated.
So once you get started on that, what's the time frame to get us numbers and?
A water tower, normally we're looking at about a year design time frame for that. Could be accelerated some, I think, but I need to go back and just look at our schedules and see how tight I can get. But generally, it's about a year.
Now, would you be available when we start going on that next phase?
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the estimated project schedule in the PER, you know, that phase 2 is a little behind, so just curious, maybe once you get started, if we can have an updated project schedule, that could help align conversations when we're looking at funding opportunities as new grants may come available.
Absolutely. And I think a wise first step would be, once we decide to move forward with this, would be sitting down with EDC and just seeing what resources do you have, how do we want to go about this, and, you know, what can we partner up on.
So you made a motion to go ahead. Did somebody second that?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
I'll prepare an agreement for August's council meeting then,
Okay.
for our survey, design, and bid phase of that project.
Sounds good.
So some other good follow-up news, you know, we do have that grant for phase 1A, and like I alluded to, I think our costs are gonna come in lower than anticipated. So that means we will have in excess of grant dollars that we have to spend. That's a great thing. I've been kicking some ideas around with Ken, whether we wanna look at another water main line, whether there's other needs in town. It's not something I need action from on council tonight, but in the next month or two, once we know where those first projects close out, we'll know how much extra we have left, and then we can get a better idea on what we can use that for.
Can it be moved over to phase 2?
It can't, and it's not because of the phasing, it's because the grant dollars were all attached to the town's water system,
That's
not the
Okra
evacuation.
money, yeah.
Yep. You know, and one thing that's gonna contribute to that is the SCADA costs. So we included dollars to put new SCADA at the booster station. However, we spent time looking into the booster station, and it's better off not getting turned back on. So all those costs that were attached to the SCADA booster station are now dollars that we get to do something else with.
Okay. Is that all you had?
That's all I was prepared to talk about, but fielding questions, anything else you need, let me know.
Do you have any questions, Ken?
No.
Valerie, do you have any more questions while we're here?
No, thank you.
We don't have anything identified to spend that money on, do we, if we have extra? I mean, would we need to get together and meet on something like that, I think?
Probably.
Yeah, that's high.
Once we see a number, yeah.
Yeah. And then try to figure out something that would work with that number.
Yeah.
So my initial thoughts would be, when we first started the water mains, we had many of them, and we had to whittle that down. So there might be some of those stragglers.
We can go back and
That we
pick
gotta
up.
look at that.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at that piece by piece and see what we could fit into it once we know the dollar figure.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So moving on to unfinished business. Updates on cleanup of 502 East Main, 411 and 415 West Front.
On that one on East Main, they had gotten started, doing a good job, and drove by there, they've trimmed a bunch of trees, now they just got that laying there, so I need to, want to be getting a hold of them and saying, guys, you gotta keep, if you wanna keep from being fined, you need to keep the ball rolling and not let it stall all that way. The other two, the ones on Front Street, I have not looked at those houses yet to see where they stand on whether being, could be labeled unsafe buildings or not. Because I am presently working on, which I'll have Bob take a look at it quick tonight, well, preliminary letter to send to the house that's next to the liquor store that caught fire a couple years ago. I got the preliminary letter ready to go to them. Just gonna let Bob take a look at it, and get that one dealt with.
Thanks, Ken. New copier.
Yeah, Jeff asked if I would call ProSource back and ask, I think that's who it was, and ask them the difference between a lease and purchasing, and the lease would be $104.88 for the cheaper one that I would like, and that would be a month for 5 years. Versus $3,326.47, but the lease covers the maintenance and the toner, as you said, but the other does not. We would have to purchase anything else that's needed.
Is there an option to purchase at the end of that lease for $1 or anything?
He didn't, no, he didn't say anything.
Because that's always what's important.
I don't think there is, Bob.
You don't think?
Yeah, I think he would have told me so, but I don't think so.
The maintenance on those is big.
Yeah,
That was my
once our
word.
old
Yeah.
one, with the copier that we have now, once, it was where we couldn't even get Xerox to come and check it out, it really cost us a lot to have anybody come and even look at it. And our scanner's all messed up. You have to restart it every time just to get.
So that's like a $3,000 difference over 5 years, but what's our cost on, toner, and by the time you do the maintenance and everything, that may be a wash, or
Probably
even
a wash,
work out in
yeah.
our favor, maybe.
Right.
Although if it's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other, on the one hand, 5 years from now, you still have a copier, the other one, you have to give this one back.
Right. So you have a permanent cost, then you'll just have to get another one and start that process over. From what I've seen, though, when you
But
get
after
5 years out of
so you don't
warranty,
get much after 5 years.
you're probably
anyway,
gonna, it's
as much
probably
as
gonna be
they
junk,
bring.
yeah, or
Right.
close to being junk at that point.
Yeah.
They don't last forever.
Do you have any idea on the cost of all those supplies?
He said that it would be, there's $31.50 a month that I would be billed for the maintenance and the supplies. So we would have the $3,326 plus $31.50 a month. And then if we go over, that's what I worry about, is going over, because,
That's what we got into.
I know you got too many copies
So
going
that
on.
$31.50 a month is on top of a purchase price of $3,000 and something, so, and you're paying how much for lease?
$104.88.
So it's only $73 more. And you have all that stuff already included.
I'd probably lease it.
I just don't want to value it after 5 years.
Yeah, they're zero.
Yeah.
They sell them at the county auction all the time for $2.
Yeah.
And usually,
You haul
it away.
You haul it away.
Usually, they can't sell them, and so they sit there, and the maintenance department scraps.
He said he'd take our old copier, because that's, when we got this one, and our old one kind of fell apart trying to get it up to Jeff. It's no good. It didn't work, did it?
He'd be willing to buy this one off of us, right?
He didn't say buy. He didn't say buy. He said he'd take it off my hands.
Wow.
Is that for a color one?
Yes,
Our old one's in Edison, right?
it's called ancient.
It was built on us, yeah.
It should go in the Smithsonian. Yeah.
So, Tony, what's that, was put ink cartridges in it, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You have to pull this little thing out and shake it.
So there's no extra cost at all in the leasing, as far as?
No.
Nothing. Unlimited?
Unless we go over our pages.
And how many pages was that?
You get 350 color pages, and you get 1,000 black and white
Per month?
per month.
It's not very many.
No, it's not very many. I know, that's what I'm saying.
Sounds like a lot.
And we had It does, but you know, a couple times I've had people on different committees come in and copy the whole book, you know, and
Well, we can get that reimbursed too, if somebody, I mean, do you charge for people
we
wanting
don't
copies?
have anything that says I can.
Probably should.
Need to do that.
So what do they charge if you go over?
If I go over black and white, it's 0.112000, and if I go over on color, it's 0.58.
You're probably not gonna see color that high, though, probably more often.
Yeah, the black and white's the one I'd be scared to go over.
Yeah.
Those things use the color unless you absolutely have to.
So you make a lot of copies.
We do charge for copies of reports and things like that though, so.
But it goes in your LLECE, don't come back to,
Right, that's maybe something we need to change on that, but there is a fee for making copies of reports and things.
Sherry, what do you think?
we gotta get one, but
Yeah.
I'll do it, whatever you guys.
I bet you're gonna go over
I
all the
know,
time.
we went over with the Xerox, we did.
Yeah.
Is there another plan where you can get like 2,000 black and whites and
Mhm.
500 color copies or something like that? Nothing else was offered?
No,
I don't know, ours is, well, we've never gone over. So, on these, never gone over on a monthly basis, and we go over. No.
You guys just
If
buy
we-
them over there.
I think we've done both.
We have too. But our copier never stops, it runs.
See, that's
constantly.
the schools, it's
Yeah, it
just
just
running all the time.
constantly runs.
Mhm.
We're trying to do a better job getting reimbursed for excessive copies.
I think once you get a copier like that, you do away with all the small ones, they all just go to a main. one,
Right.
And that starts out on paper.
Well, what's everybody think?
I would lean towards lease.
Do you wanna try lease, and if it doesn't
Yeah.
work, it doesn't
sure,
work?
I'm fine with that, yeah.
You just have to look at the calendar so often, and say, oh, sorry, we can't make it.
Yeah,
well, I had to
So
do that
next
with
Tuesday.
Come back
Xerox.
next
Hey,
month.
come back
Yeah.
next Tuesday, when the month's in.
I
You'll
had to
have
give
to
a-
hand draw it.
Yeah, but when I leave at 4,
They, because that's what they do, is they call it, basically email and ask you for numbers, what they do, so.
yeah, I had to do that with the Xerox, yeah.
You just basically stop, say, we can't make any more guys, this month, you're done. Did you make a motion on that, Mike?
If you want me to, I can.
Or did you make it?
Debbie,
Is that,
Debbie did, okay.
Debbie made the motion for
she said
lease.
try the lease, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Don't run
No practice papers.
What's gonna happen?
I don't think it costs that much per month if you do.
it up. So it says on here we've got an update on the
No.
2024 solar
I
eclipse.
didn't know if anybody wanted to add anything on it.
No, there's some brochures out now. I should have brought one. It tells, I think that it's going to last 3 minutes and 57 seconds in Cambridge City. They listed all the towns, and then the hot spot is that little church up at 1 and 35. It's going to be 4 minutes up there.
That's a good.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to watch it here and then floor your car up there, you can see it for a few more
Three
seconds.
more seconds.
3 more seconds if you got a really fast
Well worth
car. Yeah. So, but what's going to happen? It's going to get
Depends on
dark.
gas prices.
Yeah, kind of like it does every night.
Yeah, it's going to get dark and it's going to get light. So, anyway. So, who was supposed to give the update on
The empty chair.
The empty chair was,
The only thing I'll say on that is we do have 30 porta pots reserved.
Nice.
Then four more that are handicap accessible, and then 4 hand washing stations
Wow.
secured for that weekend.
Must have been about 8 minutes, anyway.
that's
I think we
great.
can make money if we charge rides at the tower.
Are you guys
And let
gonna-
them sit closer.
Are you guys gonna do cooking and things like that?
Yeah, plan to.
And
Do you have a stove?
Yeah, we got stove. Well, kind of.
What are you gonna make, Jeff, so we don't make the
Hey,
same
Jim.
thing? What
Uh,
are you gonna make so we don't make the same thing?
hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs.
We'll catch them first from the east.
I think we're closer to the center, so we'll probably be a hot spot.
You are closer. You are.
Yeah, that line looks like a
You
rough
had the
fire.
ladder, you had the ladder, you think people.
That, we're gonna raise them up, yeah.
Yeah.
50 bucks, you can sit up close.
So you guys were at the meeting that they had, and Richard, were you there? So any problems?
There's gonna be a
There's a
problem.
lot of people.
If we have what they say we're gonna have, it's gonna be interesting. We've only had the one meeting, so
What are they projecting as far as?
thousands.
I
They
think
were talking about a town in Kentucky that had 30,000
Yeah.
people in population, they had 160,000 people show up for, what, 2 or 3, in 2012 or whenever it was.
Right.
Yeah, so,
We even have people from Cambridge that went there. You know, we're starting to hear names that went there.
so we have,
And-
Jim, I think your bed and breakfast have it 100% filled that weekend.
It's already filled.
It's already built, yeah. And you know, we ought to probably look at, the schools have already canceled, and that's our meeting night. We better cancel that night, change it.
I probably won't be there.
I know, that's what I was,
I think we're really busy.
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of towns are hiring bands and stuff, and
Should we have like a
there's not too many bands left,
solar
actually.
king and solar queen?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Raise some money.
Yeah.
Blue and full hats.
Yeah. All right.
So there's another meeting on July 19th that the Tourism Bureau is organizing, and it's more for businesses to learn about how they can get engaged and promote their services. And so if a business is closed on a Monday, for example, trying to encourage them to open and have specials that weekend. So if you know of any businesses, you want to help promote that, I believe it's July 19th at 10 a.m. at Richmond Civic Hall, Civic Hall. IU East, yes, no. Yes, IU East, thank you.
I think it's 9.
They changed it, yeah.
I think it's 9 o'clock.
Thank God you're here, Millie.
It is. It's 9
Oh,
o'clock.
hold on. Let me check.
Yeah, 9 to 10.
Front page story now, with the paper all about that.
Okay.
Be out of town.
Oh, be the king.
That's your house out there, Ronnie.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Capitol Hill Cemetery update on repairs.
The guy, Casey Winningham, has made multiple trips here, and he's already been paid $10,400. His estimate was $27,200, but what was raised was $20,377. So there's not enough in that fund to cover all the repairs. I told him this, what day was it, Ken, Friday? Maybe Thursday or Friday.
Thursday or Friday. he was-
And he's now going to do the ones that he feels were shattered more, because he doesn't want snow and leaves to come into the, that area, and then he can't find the chips or whatever it is that he's looking for. So, it's something to think about, if we want him to complete them all, we've got to come up with where we're gonna.
What are we short?
So have you
We're
looked
gonna
at
be
it,
short
Ken?
about
Have you been over it?
6,000. Yeah,
How's it?
he's,
Looks like he's doing a
he's
good job.
doing, yeah, he's
what he's
doing a
done.
good job.
He was up working on it one day when I went up there. And he puts them together, he puts boards on them, clamps them together, so everything sets up.
He's done quite a few already, but there's still quite a few more.
Was he close? I mean, is it
No.
halfway?
Oh,
maybe?
no, he's not halfway
Not
yet.
halfway.
So he spent, what, 10,000?
He spent $10,400
And we had a total
of
for this?
$20,377.
Yeah, okay. So we've got 10,000 basically left.
Thank you. Resolution number 2-2023, transfer $1,000 from opioid unrestricted to canine appropriation.
Right, State Board of Accounts said that I need to have a resolution, even though it's in the same fund, but since it's going from one appropriation to another, that I needed a resolution, so that's what this is.
Now, motion to, resolution 2-2023, transfer $1,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just sign this, then please.
New business complaints on 22 East Main, 513 East Church, and 115 Myers Avenue and 501 East Church.
I sent copies of all these to you guys on Friday or Thursday, and it pretty much just says what the complaint is, and I mean, it's spot on. There's a lot going on these addresses. So I gave, Ken has copies as well, but I wanted you guys to know that he was.
So you had a chance to go down and look at it, or?
A little bit, you know, the one going down the street on the, on the one I could see some of what the one complaint was about with the car with the mattress on top of it behind a garage. And that, and they're awesome, you know, the complaint thing, it's gonna be an ongoing thing, you know. And, you know, some of it will be, I'll have to look to see, is it really a,
That's what we create the ordinance for, though, wasn't it?
yeah.
So-
But also you gotta look at some of it, is it somebody just being nitpicky? Or is it a legitimate complaint, you know?
But you did get a chance to look at all these, or you haven't yet?
Not all of them, no.
Oh, okay. So I guess you can let us know next meeting on it.
Well, that's one you're talking about, Ken, with the piles of trash in the alley. That's, I mean, that's obvious. You can see that.
I think that ordinance is pretty well defined, you
Right,
know what?
and-
But then we make that pretty clear on that ordinance. So I guess Kenya probably just gotta look at them again, I guess, on all of them. Because obviously we need to follow up with this.
The one that's 501 East Church where it says there's the junk car and a junk truck.
Junk truck.
That would probably be you, Richard.
Where is it?
501 East Church. And that actually is a rental.
Yeah. So,
And we're talking the same area as the Main Street.
Yeah.
So it's a big eyesore.
We'll check on that one. That's the first I heard of it.
Yeah, this one says it's red truck in the weeds, has been there for years. Yeah. And the other one,
The only place in town.
No, it's not. There's
There's a lot.
so many.
which one's 302's name? Weeds
No,
above.
no, it's, look, here it is.
No, I know, but,
Five-
no, wait a minute, no, that's wrong, that's.
Wait a minute.
Shh, never mind. So, 115 Myers Avenue. I'm not familiar.
Myers is, where's
Hmm.
Myers?
The next street east of Lincoln,
Lincoln, across the subway. That's
Yeah.
by
Oh, yeah.
Stacy Birch's house.
Okay,
down
yeah.
the second block.
Oh, yeah, this is over in your area,
Behind me.
behind you.
Yeah.
That's it,
I'm just
right
guessing.
behind
I
you.
don't know
That's
the
it.
house
That's
number for sure,
exactly
but I think
yeah,
that's it.
It's behind you. And you've complained about it before.
Oh, yeah?
Their backyard, your backyard and their backyard.
Oh, that was Canadian Thistle.
Okay.
That was corrected.
That was bad.
It is bad stuff.
So. I wanted you guys to see them.
So can you follow up with that?
Yep, let us
I'll
know.
bring that. It's a meeting.
I've got the same one sitting on my desk to go.
All right, thank you. Dublin interlocal police contract.
Hopefully you guys saw the email I sent to all of you, refresh everybody's memory, we were a little behind. The last written one expired December 31st, when we had talked about approving this, and I thought both town councils had actually looked at the written contract and they hadn't, so here it is. And it's keeping $15,000 a year for 2023, and then going up to $16,500 for 2024 and 2025. So continued 3-year contract to provide police observance and protection for the town of Dublin by your town marshal and his deputies.
So it sounds like they're happy with the service they're
They
getting.
are.
Does anyone want to make a motion to approve the contract?
I'll make a motion we approve the contract with the Dublin interlocal police.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Here's the original for people. Oh, I guess no, we just had this for Steve and Sherry's signature, so.
Thank you. Next is pay application number 1 for phase 1B project.
That's Adam.
Yeah.
That's Adam.
Double dipping tonight. So in front of you councils, the first pay application for phase 1B. It's for the amount of $254,692.80. By far and large, the largest item being claimed on this is the well drilling for $175,000. And then there's a bunch of other ancillary items adding up to the total cost. Happy to get into as much details as you would like on what's included and all those things.
You just got to sign.
Yeah, if you don't care, go ahead and just go through it.
No, sure.
Yeah.
Would you like me to?
Sure, yeah, if you don't care.
No, it's fine. So the well drilling was the large one for the 175. They've also claimed somewhere around $44,000 for mob, demob. And they're allowed to claim a certain amount of that at the beginning of a project, and they haven't claimed all of it yet, so they're leaving some room, which to me is good because they haven't fully mobilized yet either. Another large portion of the costs are attached to the drive for the well. And there's about $50,000 in that, and then there's a small amount for the well house itself, just for the excavation that they've gotten started. Don't believe they've claimed any stored materials, but let me check. No stored materials. So that's the entirety of the pay app.
Just 3 items. Like that right now.
Not a lot, because I haven't done a whole lot yet.
So does anybody like a motion to pay this then?
I'll make a motion that we pay the pay application number 1 for phase 1B.
So,
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Good, there's signs. August 12th, junk in the trunk. I'll let you explain that.
Tanya and Norma usually they go back and forth, and every year they've had that junk in the trunk where they want the north and south foot streets closed during the day on August the 12th. They line up a car or a truck, or they can rent a space, and whatever you can fit in that, they sell. Those people sell out of it, and I think it brings a lot of people into town. I'm not sure, but so she would like permission to close the road down to the alley on Bob's side and down to the alley on AJ's side.
So not the full block,
No.
just
Is this
down
a
the first
Saturday?
alley.
Yes, it's a Saturday.
You have any problem?
No, they've done it every year for a while.
fire wing.
Yep, yep, she did say
Good.
that, yeah.
Ken, you have any problem?
I'll make a motion, we allow them to have junk in the trunk, August 12th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Next is set the budget workshop.
I set it for July 31st at 6. So everybody needs to be there.
All right, 6.
Yep.
Okay. I'll get to the NDOT stuff and I'll have to drive fast.
Richard can block the intersections.
Yeah, give me an escort.
Can y'all make it?
I may be out of town. I will be out of town, actually.
I'm supposed to be, but I haven't got my ticket, so I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Sherry, we looked at that prior week too, that Thursday.
Yeah, how about the week before?
I don't have any problem with that. What is it, 31st? Is that a Monday? It is a Monday.
Yes, it's a Monday. Let's see, the week
I definitely
before.
will be out of town.
You'll be gone still?
I'll be out of town that Monday, the
On-
31st. The 24th, I should
No,
be.
yeah, July 31st.
It would have to be the 27th, because I don't get back to the 27th.
Yeah, so it'd have to be the Thursday, the 27th.
Sure. Everybody else, I mean,
What do you think down there?
I'm fine with
Okay,
it. It'll work.
27th?
27th it is.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not 100% sure yet.
You're missing out on a fun night, let me
I
tell
know.
you, if you're not gonna be.
Well, which night's better for you, Steve?
I know.
Well,
Either one.
probably the 31st would be better for me, but nobody can be here. So, I'll let you know on mine.
Could be, but I'm not gonna cancel my fishing trip.
That's a Thursday.
That's
Well,
fine
then,
with you.
cancel
Oh,
We
that-
all- we all probably need to be here, so we.
Right.
I know.
So.
I'll just go ahead and say I probably won't be here that night. I'll tell you why at the meeting.
Is
So-
the 31st better?
Is it Wednesday? Can we do it on Wednesday?
No,
No?
Well, we could.
you think?
Oh, because you're.
He's gonna be.
I
Oh,
get
you're gonna
back
go.
real late Tuesday night, and so I was trying not to schedule a whole lot on Wednesday, but I can make it by the time. Hopefully I'll be out by 6. Coming from the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, jet lag.
Yeah.
Coming in.
So if it needs to be that night.
I can't do it Thursday or Friday that week.
Okay, you can do it Monday, so that leaves the 26th.
I'm fine with that. I must not have a life. I'm the one that got all these days. Huh.
Mike, you'll be here?
I would rather
Well,
be
yeah,
out
as far as I
there.
know.
Sherry, with that being said, is there any way you can get me the sheet that we normally give to them before I leave this Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
This Saturday?
Yes, I leave the 15th.
I'll try, yeah, I'll
That'd be the
try.
only thing. Then I'll have to look at them all that day. so.
I've got 3 different dates on here.
So
So which
what
one
we
is it?
decide.
26th.
26, I need to delete the other 2.
So that doesn't tell us that Jim can be here. I'm assuming you can. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so that's it. 26.
Would it be too much rushing if we went in the first week of August? If we meet with Wayne on the 9th,
What day of the week is that?
that would be, the first is on a Tuesday, the second's Wednesday, and then the third is Thursday.
I'm out of town until
You're
the
still
5th.
gone? Okay.
Yeah, I leave on the 30th and get back on the 5th.
Okay.
So we're gonna leave the 26th.
Yeah.
I don't believe we have any reports from any committees, boards, or commissions. Is that correct? Staff reports, town marshal.
We have another contract, the Western Wayne School contract. I think Bob's gonna talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I was gonna do it under mine. We can do it under yours too.
Go ahead, go ahead, do it.
the attorney from West Wayne Schools contacted me today and said they were meeting this, actually Richard had told me they were meeting this week, and he asked if I could put it together, and I did. So I don't know, that email came late in the day, so you guys may not have seen that. Did you see that?
I saw it.
It's basically the same terms as what currently exists for the 2 school resource officers. The other one expires the end of this month, July 31st, and so this would take it out for a 3-year renewal, cover the school years 2023 to 24, 24 to 25, and 25 to 26. It reflects a 3% increase, so that they would be paying the town $40,538 per school resource officer per year for all 3 of those years. Richard had already talked to him and kind of tentatively agreed with him that that would be satisfactory. Richard, I wish it had gotten him a 3% raise each year, but
So is this cost of the 3 years, is 3% one time?
yeah, one time. And it covers 180 days of the school year that they would be on site, and all the other provisions, again, the same with the town providing equipment, et cetera. And anything else you want to talk about? It's not been a problem, has it? I mean, both sides have been happy with the contract?
Yeah, I mean, the last time we just did a 2-year contract because we had a new superintendent and we weren't sure how that was gonna go, so, he's happy with it, obviously, so we're doing the 3-year contract this time.
I had a question. When the resource officers go for that training, are they supposed to send their reimbursements through the school? You know, when the school wants them to go for that training and then they bring the receipt back?
That's a good question, we need to find out.
Yeah, because we're paying them again. And
Yeah, I was gonna send Bob an email about
okay,
that.
so you've got those receipts?
Yeah, I do.
And it's training the schools making them go to?
Well, it's the National School Resource Officer training that is mandated. But I'll send you an email on that, Bob, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, it probably, in here it says that the school resource officer shall be required by the town marshal of the town to attend regular training and briefing sessions as required by the town marshal. It does not indicate who pays for that, so.
And in the past, some of the trainings that they went to through the school, they've paid for, so.
The school has?
Yeah.
Okay, well then there is some sort of history of performance with that, so.
The question is right now they're out of school, you know, basically off-duty time. They went to the annual conference that they had, so. I haven't had a chance to talk to Andy about it either, so I can reach out to him as well.
So does anyone make a motion?
I'd say we table it till we get that.
You want to table it?
Yeah, until we get that cleared up. We'd have to have a sign before then. for the start of
That
school
table
year.
the agreement?
Yeah, until we find out.
Decide who's gonna pay.
Unless you,
I think you can go ahead and do the
We could do
contract.
that.
Yeah, because that's,
pending the,
We can work it out.
when they deny, I don't care.
Because you're not gonna meet again before August 1st when this kicks in.
When do they start school? Is that coming?
I don't know, I think it's
It's the
like
first?
7th or something.
yeah, something like that.
I think the 9th for the kids,
It's
Oh,
ninth.
wow.
7th for the 8th for the staff.
Yeah, I'm fine with
So someone will make a motion to approve the 3-year contract with Western Wayne Schools.
I'll make a motion to accept the 3-year contract with Western Wayne Schools for the
I'll second.
officers.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And this one does require all your signatures.
Really, that's all I had. The only other thing was, you know, we ordered a car last fall. I think we're finally gonna get it sometime in about the middle of August. So I've got a couple of updates on that recently, but I don't have a firm date yet, but Ford's finally starting to move a little, I think. That's all I had.
Okay. Fire chief.
The 5.7's back in service, it's been repaired, it's back in service. The fireworks went real well. I think everybody seemed to be pleased with the fireworks this year. The car show, even though we had all the rain,
Yeah.
still ended up with 68 cars. We were successful. We had the yard full, and everybody had a good time. I have got some concerns though. Rumors are that want to build a entertainment center behind the fire station. We're all on board 100% to help with the state of the concerts and stuff. But we need that to maybe maintained as a temporary stage so we can, we need all of our space. And also, if we build a permanent stage there, it totally cuts us down for ever doing any expansion on the fire station. That's the only place we can go to ever expand. But right now, though, our main problem is right now, we've got 9 years of doing this car show that would kill the car show. And it'd make it really tough for us to do the hog roast and our Christmas lights. So we really need our space. But we're good with them using our space, sharing our space with them. So I just want to bring my concerns to the board, and it's your house, but you guys have got some concerns.
Okay.
I don't think anything's locked in stone.
I haven't even heard that.
That's just rumors I heard. I just want to bring it
Yeah, I mean,
now to the board when I heard rumor. I don't like rumors floating around.
Yeah.
I'd rather get
I've
things
just
out
seen
in the
some
open.
sketches, and I don't think there's been anything.
Yeah, that was part of our master plan. That's what.
It's more a little bit of rumor, I mean.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah, it's not-
discussed.
Jim
not a
submitted the
rumor.
thing.
We're gonna do one, I just don't,
A
you know,
permanent stage. I would-
it might not be permanent, you know.
Again, we're good with temporary stuff. We'll help, we'll run our kitchen, help them promote what they're doing. But we really need to have our space when we need our space.
It's not a matter of they, it's a matter of.
Well,
this
I mean,
town.
whoever's, you're like I said, it's their house. But
I think we have talked about, someday it's a chance that that space will be needed.
Yeah. And that was what was identified in our master plan. We have a drawing in our master plan.
Of this being joined, yes.
Yeah.
That's- yeah.
So, but we can talk about it, get together.
Okay.
Did we get any feedback on the concert, how it went?
How did it go, Jim?
It's very well received. We had probably 150 people at least, maybe 160, and everything was orderly. Or the police person that worked with us, I think, was fine. We had the ambulance set up, porta pots, food went real well. They sold out. Duke Tomato and the Power Trio was the group, and I think that group was very well received. We have another one on the 29th.
I'm hearing a lot of feedback on that one.
Yeah, that's actually a nationally known group.
Yeah.
Motown.
Motown Sound of the
Yeah.
Touch is they're called.
Did you guys work it?
The last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had it there.
Yeah. And everybody was paid. First Bank Richmond sponsored the event, and we have a sponsor for the next one. So the same process will take place again.
Who is the next group?
Motown Sound and of the Touch, and I bet we'll double the number of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a heads up.
Is the next one gonna have alcohol or?
No alcohol. That's right. We're not resolved yet to do that. We want to work with you and work with everybody, but we're investigating how to do it. But we're not ready to ask that as a request.
The town did pass the ordinance that's
Yeah.
allowable with permit.
But we still have to come and file
Yeah.
a request.
Total plan, yeah.
Right, yeah.
We're not doing that yet.
When is the next
It's
one?
fairly complicated.
29th. Yeah.
July?
July. And then the next one is in August, like the third week. That'll be 3 altogether.
That'll be a good one too. I was looking that up online.
It's amazing what you can do when you have a little bit of money to bring in talent. And we have good openers too. We had a local opener last time, and we'll have another local opener on the 29th. We're going to try to do that each time.
Good.
Yeah, she was good.
She was very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeff, is that all you had?
yes,
Public Works Superintendent.
Sort of already filled you in on some of the trash and weed things. We did receive, at the last meeting, I talked about the grant for working with, getting this stuff with lead and copper that basically is coming from the EPA, that we've got to basically put an inventory of what we've got in the ground. And we've filled out a grant with Wessler's help to get money to go go towards that. We did receive the grant, and I have a meeting with Kurt with Westler that is going to be helping us put this together on Wednesday, so we can get started on getting it together, because it has to be submitted to IDEM and everything by October of 2024.
What was this grant?
It was for $15,000, and it's a grant that the person doing the work has to be an outside source, so it's not a grant we could have got to help pay our employees. It has to be in that. And also with filling out this grant to begin with, will make us eligible for any other grants that IFA has that deals with this lead and copper stuff. And if we wouldn't have done the first round, then we couldn't even fill it out for anything down the road. So it was a sort of, I guess you could say, a win-win for us. You know, we got some money to help get this first round of stuff done, and it also makes us eligible to get money down the road that we look to need that. And then the other thing I got is back when it was when the farmer snagged the electric line over on Delaware. I forget when that was.
Yeah.
And took a bunch of poles down.
Yeah.
Well, in the process, it damaged that railing that was put up when they did the community crossings to school, the Safe Routes to School program. And I had no clue where to go to find parts to fix that, because that was all done through a contractor, and who knows who the sub was that put the railing in. So I did contact Ohlers, and it was going to be basically give me a price on putting some kind of new railing up along there. Well, he came and looked at it, and he actually was able to find parts. So instead of having to put a whole new railing up, we were able to get the parts, and he fixed it. So that railing's fixed, and we sent the bill on to the insurance company. Which, Jim had said something about it, and I went looking at it. Basically a lot of what was broke was the post. And you just take your hand on that thing, and so it was something that was unsafe. But it's taken care of and repaired. And that's all I have.
Oh, yeah? Town attorney.
Yeah, well, we've talked about a couple contracts already done. I also have prepared a purchase agreement that you had already accepted the bid from Losum Camp on the property, Boundary Street, subject to them paying for and getting a survey. That has now been complete. So I've gone ahead and done a purchase agreement. It's identical to what you used for Browers, what you used for Reveille's, with the buyers taking the property as is, you not making any representations or warranties about that, and they picking up the second installment in taxes, although there really won't be until next year. But for paperwork, that's what it's saying. Then if they want any kind of title insurance, that's at their cost. And they are again paying $1,000 plus the cost of new survey that they are being responsible for. And it authorizes Steve and Sherry to sign the warranty deed for that property. So I would ask if you wanted to approve that purchase agreement. Nothing new in it, all the terms are the same, except for what the bid amount, which you guys have already accepted. So
I'd make a motion to the purchase agreement.
This is for Lucy Camp?
Okay.
Yeah, up there by the water tower.
Yeah, good.
I got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Awesome.
and that's all I have to add.
All right. Mike, did you have anything?
I'm good, thank you.
Debbie?
No, I don't.
Sherry?
Yeah, I'm gonna get somebody to clean our carpets because they're nasty. And I've got just two names, Stanley Steamer and Just in Time. So I'm gonna get quotes. Hopefully it won't be too much, but we we really need to. We spent all that money on carpet a couple years ago. I just need to get somebody to clean it, so I want to let you know about that. And then also, the Indiana Department of Health is having a vaccination clinic in this room on July 20th from 9 to 2. She couldn't get it housed anywhere else, so I told her she could use this place. Okay, I'm gonna let you know that. So if you all need shots, come on in.
No, thank you.
Is it vaccination for flu shots or?
Flu, it says COVID, flu, that's it, COVID and flu.
Seems early for the flu.
I know, I like wait on that one.
Yeah, we gotta see what.
Oh, here, I do have one more thing. Mike Kleinpeter sent this in, need your signature, it's a compliance form, and it, Cooley has already signed it. It looks like it's for everything that they've already done, that he needs to submit to OGRA, according to OGRA, that it was completed by this date, so he needs your signature. Bob, you want to look it over? I think that's all I have.
I think this is
Oh.
one of the things that says Steve knows everything about it.
Yeah, I know.
He never does, but he
I
wants
just
to.
want you to look at it.
He just loves us.
They love my autograph.
On July 18th, can one of you meet with me at 2 o'clock? Because I've got an audit on, State Board of Accounts is coming in auditing my, the rescue money. I want to make sure that we're abiding and you spending it
When is
right.
it?
The 18th, July 18th at 2 o'clock. I just need one person.
See if I can come.
Okay. I think you or Jeff.
Yeah, just,
Was this on the road work? That's not part of the water project.
No, that's the, I don't know, it's just said, he just said, he had to send it to Oakland.
I thought I saw a signature.
I think it's just
Cooley, yeah,
confirming that,
Cooley.
it's confirming that they've done the work, so I assume, and they swear off they've done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how, she was supposed to know they did 7,278 hours.
he's out there
I'll
watching.
get right on that.
Yeah.
He's out there watching.
I guess Ken could look at it and see if they've done that.
You know they've done it, no? Yeah.
Done by Cooley and by Daystar?
Who's Daystar?
That was the directional drawing.
Yeah, directional boring.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I guess.
So it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
Okay. You heard my legal counsel.
I heard nothing.
1A. It doesn't say that on there,
I'm
does
not
it?
signing that.
Oh, yeah, that's good to me, go ahead and sign away.
Because from Oprah's perspective.
The microphone did pick that up, right?
Probably.
All right.
The microphone did pick up.
I think
him
so,
telling you that.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Keep on signing.
Jeff Morris. Yeah.
Thank you. I think that's it.
Do you have anything, Jeff?
No.
I'll accept a motion to adjourn. Oh, does anybody out here have anything for us? Going once, going twice. All right. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Yay.